Hello, guys. Good day. This is Anne of Reinforce Me Club, your fellow positive reinforcer. Today, we are going to talk about temperament, the foundation of our personality. Now, temperament is the fundamental aspect of human nature. This is a person's nature or the animal's nature, or it could be our animalistic nature, from the time we were born. It actually refers to the innate traits that influence how we respond to the world around us. This is also known to be a child's emotional and behavioral style of responding to the world. These biological tendencies shape our emotions, behaviors, and interactions from early childhood and remain relatively stable throughout life. But as we go along, as we venture life, as we age at the same time, we can self regulate our temperament. Now, what is the difference between temperament and personality? Temperament is our innate, our nature, those genes, personality types that we got from our parents, from our grandparents, or it could be from our entire family tree. It is biologically determined aspects of our behavior. It could be hereditary. These are the early building blocks of our personality. Now, as far as I can remember, when I used to work in the delivery room, I did assisted babies, newborn babies. And these babies have different responses to stress, by the time they were born, by the time they got out from the womb. Some babies were quiet. Some are, really noisy. They could be like all over the place. By the moment they get out from the womb, like, "Ah!" And some babies are quiet. Some babies are chill, and then chill as in by the time they get out from the womb, they're like, oh my gosh, I'm born, and then we give them milk, and then they have good suck, good good relationship with their mom, with their parents. Some babies are like anxious. Some babies were exhausted. It they have different responses to stress, and it's not an easy moment to be born, in the part of the baby as well as especially to the mothers, and then to the entire family. Mom and dad and the baby. But that moment initially is stressful for both mom and baby. At that moment when the baby is born. So I did appreciate that babies have different, they do have different responses to stress. And that is their nature. They haven't got any personality yet. But, by the time they were born, they have already, a foundation of their personality. So, in other words, temperament, temperament is their raw material. It's their it's the baby's emotional response to their environment, their situation. And there's no personality yet. You can't really appreciate what type of person is this. But they already have responses. Some babies are chill, some babies are quite anxious by the time they were born. Some babies were stressed out, some are exhausted. Different responses to stress. Now, on the other hand, personality is the combination of temperament and experiences. It includes learned behaviors, beliefs, and habits. In other words, personality develops over time and can change with experiences and conscious efforts. In the essence, personality is the structure built upon the foundation, which is temperament. Personality is influenced by life experiences, environment, and our conscious choices. Now, that is the difference between temperament and personality. Now, let's move on to the different types of temperament. The concept of temperament has been explored in various models, but today I am going to bring about one of the well known, the four temperaments model by Hippocrates. Hippocrates is one of the best ever Greek philosopher in you know in history. Now, the first type of temperament is the sanguine, which is also called the optimist. Now, these people are sociable, enthusiastic, lively, and active. Sanguine individuals are often considered as extrovert. They are talkative. They enjoy being with people and is generally optimistic. They don't easily judge people. They just want to get along and connect with different types of people. That is why it's easy to connect with these people. Although they could be optimistic, but the downside of their being sociable and lively, they could be impulsive and forgetful because they are distracted. And these people may struggle with following through one task, following through one idea. And since they could be impulsive, they are people who seek out thrill seeking behaviors, which could be extreme at times, extreme to the point that they are prone to drug use. They are great explorer fellas. So that's the downside of being optimistic or too optimistic. That's why we need to strike the balance at times. The second type of temperament is the choleric or the leader. Now, these people are ambitious, passionate, and driven. Choleric people are often assertive and decisive and tend to take charge in the situation. Although, if you get along with these people, you will surely have a direction. But the downside is they get easily angered. They are domineering and may struggle with patience and empathy. So, once again, it's important to strike the balance. You know, you could be a good person and be bad at the same time. So, strike the balance with your personality, with the way we deal with people, especially with ourselves. Now, the third temperament type is the melancholic or the thinker. These people are thoughtful, reserved, and often reflective. Melancholic individuals are typically detail oriented and organized and prefer solitude or small group. In other words, they could be introvert people. Now, the downside of this fellas, of these folks, they could be prone to anxiety, depression, and perfectionism. They always want to make things perfect, to deliver a type of could be presentation which is perfect for them. So this could, if you want to deliver something perfect, of course, most of the time you'll be prone to anxiety. And when you think that you don't deliver the perfect presentation, the perfect citation, dissertation, and then you get depressed. So once again, it's important to strike the balance. You could shift your personality, your temperament from melancholy to someone who could be optimistic. Now, that is one way for you to strike the balance. Now, the fourth type of temperament is the phlegmatic, the peacemaker. Now, these people are calm, reliable, and content. Phlegmatic individuals are often patient, good listeners, and prefer harmony and peace. Although these people are good people, calm, patient, good listeners, but they could be passive, indecisive. They couldn't decide sometimes even for themselves. And since these people are contented about what they have, they could be resistant to change. Now, can someone have more than one temperament? The answer is absolutely yes. You can't be phlegmatic all the time, that you don't want to change anything. It's hard to be, one-sided all the time. That is why it's important to shift your temperament to another type, which is choleric. Although you can be calm, contented, reliable, but when something happens in your life, you can shift to someone who is choleric. Although the dominating part of your temperament is phlegmatic, you can adapt being choleric person so that you can achieve your goals. Although you can be contented of what you have, and then something happened in your past, or something happened to you today which made you really discontent, or change your mind, or change what you have, then you change. You shifted your temperament to someone who is choleric. Although you could be, you could be patient at the same time. You can mix it up. And now, since you become a choleric person, the leader who gets easily angry, now you can self-regulate your anger with patience. Try to think about your responses. Now, you'll be prone to become self-reflective. Now, you're a thinker. So, that's what makes a person unique, and the beauty of our existence. Because, you can shift your temperament from peacemaker to a leader, or from optimist to a leader, to make things right for you, to make things advantageous for you and for other people or other parties. Now, for example, a person might be primarily sanguine, but that person can still adapt the choleric traits, can still able to exhibit choleric traits. So you can blend temperaments to make each person's personality unique. That's the beauty of it all. Now, can temperaments be changed? Well, this is how it goes. Temperament can be moderate or managed through personal development, life experiences, and conscious effort. For instance, a naturally impulsive person who is sanguine can learn to become more disciplined and patient over time. While the core tendencies might remain, their expression can change with maturity, as people age, and by intention, by therapy, by self-awareness with professional help. All in all, temperament represents our innate, our natural aspects of behavioral and emotional responses, laying the groundwork for personality development. While temperament is biologically rooted and tends to be stable throughout life, it also interacts with our experiences and the environment that we're in to shape our personality, which is more dynamic and subject to change. Understanding the different types of temperaments, namely sanguine, choleric, melancholic, and phlegmatic, can help us recognize our natural tendencies and those of others. While these temperamental traits are relatively stable, we can learn to manage and adapt our responses with self-awareness and effort, enhancing our personal growth and relationships. Now, I hope you learned something from today, and I also learned something today from this lesson. Now, if you ever love this episode, you can follow me in YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and even in Amazon Podcasts. Reinforce Me Club. By the way, this is Anne, your fellow positive reinforcer. I do appreciate your time and have a lovely day ahead.